It's the After the Show podcast.
We don't care. We're about to swear on the air. It's the After the Show, so tune in if you dare. KVJ gets risque every single day. It's uncensored. We can say what we want to say.
Yeah, here we go. It is the KVJ After the Show podcast. How the heck is everybody? Welcome to your Tuesday.
Tuesday. We made it through Monday.
Yeah. No, we did. Sorry.
That's the best thing about Tuesday.
Yeah. No, yeah. You start to actually come out of the fog of the weekend. Please. Like, okay.
The puffiness from my face hasn't gone down yet, but that's okay.
Oh, man.
Thursday, I'll be looking good.
The sun shines again.
Yeah. So we're, I guess, still recovering. So thank you very much. Somebody said, I can't find the ATS. Did you guys move it? No, we just got started late today. You never know. It fluctuates. I had a pretty long email that for the sake of reading it, I try to condense. So it depends on how many emails I get and how long those emails are. So I start on it right after the regular show. So I do apologize. As I'm highlighting, I'm realizing, oh man, people are going to be so mad, but I'm doing my best. Glad you guys are here.
Are you talking to the audience or me in Virginia?
Yeah, somebody said, I can't spark my quote-unquote Philly until the show has begun. Is that, is Philly a term for doobie?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they're going to get high. So we are prolonging the waiting for them. We're going, oh man, I want to smoke that thing.
We're just edging your blunt.
You're edging.
Por favor, mi Dios, ayudaros a empezar el show, they say. So please, my God, help us and start the show. So they're starting to talk nasty to me in Spanish.
Oh,
So,
I like it.
Yeah, that's how you know people are getting serious.
You suck in two languages.
Yes. Katie May and Marietta sent this about Friday's crazy after the show live that we did from the Palm Beach Kennel Club. She said, thank you guys so much for the crazy live show last Friday night. I'm still recovering from it.
I love it.
Us too. I also really want to thank the lovely souls that populate KVJ Nation. The last KVJ event I went to was the infamous St. Patrick's Day at Pirates Well, where I spoke to Joe Ponton for maybe 10 minutes. I recognized him from his various appearances on the show, and that was 4 years ago. Last Friday, I was next to Ponton in the drink line and barely got out. Hey, not sure if you remember, before he said, of course I know you. You're Katie from Atlanta.
Wow. Ponton got that recall.
He does. He's good on that.
Oh, he's very good.
She said, I was stunned. Then some folks at my table saw my Braves hat and hollered out, hey, you're Katie from Atlanta. They asked about my trip, the Braves. I was overwhelmed by the love.
Aww.
Ponton introduced me to so many awesome people. I came to this event solo, expecting to sit back and watch the fun happen, but KVJ Nation made it their personal business to include me like they've known me since May of '99 when the show captured all of our hearts.
Aww.
Even though I was born and raised in South Florida, it never felt like home to me, and Atlanta changed my life. So once my family followed me up to Georgia, I figured I'd lost any connection to Palm Beach County, but as it turns out, I do have family in South Florida to come back and visit. KVJ Nation, I love y'all and can't wait to hang out again. And thank you, KVJ, for doing the most to share your lives and passion with us. It's a weird, genuinely wonderful phenomenon to meet kindred spirits, and I will treasure all these blurry memories for the rest of my life.
Now, it is very cool that so many people have become friends through the show that are legit, really great friends.
Those are my monkeys, and this is my circus.
Yeah.
We're together, baby.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, that's
That's
really
awesome.
Cool. I love
That
the
is
connection.
so
Great
sweet.
email.
And then the fact that you're walking around the room and people recognize you from your hat.
It's cool.
That's so cool.
So thank you very much for that. Ashley said, yeah, I've been a listener since middle school. I'm 35 now, and I just want to ask a quick question about the ice box where Virginia and Kev headed after the show. Yeah, we had a little post party there.
Because they were one of the few places you could go in Palm Beach County at 9 a.m. and get a drink.
Yeah, it was legendary to the first several years of us starting the show. I do my show prep from there and eat chicken wings. Every single day. It was great.
It was awesome.
My mom, Jody, was a bartender there. Just wondering if y'all remember her. She did pass away in 2002, and Vicious V used to party with my cousin, Michelle Evans. Thank you guys so much. It makes my day every day.
Jody, the bartender. That sounds very familiar.
Yeah. Remember Jody?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
We had a lot of fun in there. We really did. We would go like hit other bars with the same people from the icebox. I think we even went back to a few people's houses and kept the party going and made it house party style.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, I remember they had a pig roast, I think we went to one time.
I think that we were kind of like unofficial employees. We were at least with the crew.
Yeah, it was like that. I mean, I remember we just walked back into the kitchen, just see what was up, and
Yeah, we would go back there as she was tossing our wings.
Yep.
And we would just hang out and talk about life.
Yeah.
Did you guys find that just on a whim? You were driving around and said, let's go here?
Yeah, what had happened was, we would get out of the show. Was it 9 that we ended the show or 10?
I think it was 9.
It might have been 9
They
when
wanted
we
us
ended the
on
show.
the littlest amount of time as possible.
I think it was 9 because I remember you telling me that when I first got the job.
Yeah.
Because you guys would go right to the icebox after you get yelled at by the PD.
Yeah, we would walk out of the studio. The boss would have his head down in his hands like he was trying to rip his hair out of his head. And then he'd bring us in and he'd just play everything from that day's show that was terrible. And he would just say, you guys are ruining this radio station. Why are you so terrible? And then he would be like, all right, get the fuck out of here. And we'd be like, okay, I need a drink.
What kind of stuff?
I'd be crying.
What would you guys be
she was
doing that
crying.
he wouldn't like?
Everything. He hated us.
I don't even remember specifics, but it was just everything.
There
we
was
did, he
nothing
hated.
we could do wrong, right? Because from day to day, it was different wrong stuff. But I think he was one of those insecure guys that had to justify a paycheck by correcting you and telling you. But I think he was just making shit up as he went.
Yeah, also, too, it sounds like it kind of was personal. It sounds like he wasn't judging y'all on the right
I
stuff
don't know.
or something.
I mean, I thought, I didn't remember any, personal issues that we had. I mean, other than just, the way that he talked to us and critiqued us was rough. And then he would sit there and he would play our audio, and he had this whole thing, his laughs per minute. And so he would run a stopwatch, and he'd be like, a whole minute went by. He's like, there's no laughs per minute. By the way, Stern does 17. And I'd be like,
That's such a dumb thing
I'm
to
like,
say.
is that a stat? I never heard that ever in radio. I was like, who's laughing? Do I have to laugh?
Well, who's the end all
Gotta
be
hit a
all
laugh
of what's
track? Or
well, what's gonna make you laugh may not make me laugh.
that was kind of my question. He's like, no, it's a standard thing. He tried to pass off like it was something in radio. And I've asked people. Well, I did ask people for about 6 months after that. I'm like, you ever heard of laughs per minute? I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? I look like a moron because I kept bringing it up. So I stopped bringing up laughs per minute after I figured out that it was not a standard term of the industry and that this guy was just a knucklehead. So
You could tell that is something he read or someone fed him.
Yeah.
Or he made up.
Or made up.
yeah,
That's some bullshit.
Yeah, so anybody who's
That's
trying to
funny,
gauge
though.
laughs per minute, you're right. It's an imaginary term that you just can't. I've never heard it from anybody else. Never heard it before. Never heard it since.
And then one day he told the boss, the big boss above him, it's them or me. And he was trying to get us fired. And then the big boss was like, you know what? I think I'm going to keep Kevin in Virginia. And fired that guy. And then ironically, that guy went on to do a comedy career that went nowhere and probably got 0 laughs per minute.
Damn, that.
Yeah, that's right. I do remember. I forgot he tried.
He tried
stand-up.
comedy and was awful at it.
Yeah, it didn't work out for
Did
him.
not go well.
You gotta be careful when you call somebody out. You better be able to back some shit up. If you're gonna talk gangs of shit
Yeah.
and not be funny yourself.
That was rough.
So that was
rough.
that was the motivation for us going to the icebox every day.
Was that his critique? Is that rougher? Would have to do the ones in Miami?
Oh yeah, no, I think his were a lot worse.
I think
than it was
his
in
were
Miami.
worse because we were learning and trying to build our confidence together. And this guy had us thinking that we couldn't even breathe right. That was the level that this guy would critique us to. And
No matter what you do, you knew in your heart it would have meant diddly dick. 'Cause
yes,
he just didn't. He wasn't
was
feeling
going
it.
to be mad at us about whatever it was. And now as a 49-year-old woman, I can look back. I was 25 when he was yelling at me like that and making me cry at least 2 to 3 times a week. But now I realize what he was doing. He himself was insecure and not in a good position in the company and wanted to be and thought this is how you get through to people by yelling at them. And this is how you justify your paycheck by just being a dick.
How long was he y'all's program director?
I think it was about maybe 2 years, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That's a
Yeah.
long sentence to be run by tyranny.
No, it was tough, and I honestly don't know how we made it that long. And the craziest thing was
We made it there because of the ice box.
we were starting to creep up and kind of get in our groove. I remember we started in 13th place when we first got on the radio, and we were kind of slowly creeping up. And then when he got fired, we didn't have that hanging over us, and we got loose and free, and we went to number 1 like really fast right after that. And it was good because the boss that took our side, the head boss, he looked like he clearly had justified what he did, and he's like, okay, I made the right call. And then by the time you got on the show and everything like that, they're like, all right, we clearly made the right decision. So. Yeah, so it all worked out, but it was tough. Probably the toughest part of my career ever.
But we have the icebox to thank for not just giving up on it all. Because if we hadn't had a place to go at 9 a.m. for a release and some cold beer and chicken wings, it would have been rough.
It would have been tough just to go right home and sit.
And that's why when we went back into the icebox on Friday night, me and Kevin were just looking at each other like, this is weird. What a full circle moment.
It was, yeah. That was really cool for me, honestly, because we hadn't really been back in there. And then after coming off that show that we had and everything, I was like, wow, this is really kind of a weird moment. It was pretty cool.
We had to go through all that to get what we got on Friday night, which was ultimate love from the coolest people in the world that filled that room with so much joy and affection. The complete opposite that we would go and cry about in the icebox. So then to walk back in the icebox, happy, triumphant, confident, it was a very full circle moment. And if I hadn't been so drunk, I probably would have appreciated it more.
There's still a lot of stories. I don't know. I'd like to delve deeper on my new series, The Bread Table Talk. We eat bread, we get emotional. I love it.
I bet you the icebox would be happy to host that.
Yeah, right. Yeah, coming up, it would be for us. We'll be having another anniversary in like 5 days, Virginia.
Oh yeah,
this week. Yeah.
Look at that.
I think Sunday. That'll be 24 years.
Wow.
24, yeah, because I'm 19. Mine's 19, you're 24.
Yeah, you got in 5 years in.
It's crazy.
Tiffany sent an email. She said, my husband and I came down for your live show on Friday and had the best time. My favorite part was when you were describing the time that you embarrassed Caitlyn the most, and the Mexican Queen was emphatically adding to the story from the audience. Yeah, they all can't wait to. They just all love piling in, the whole family. Whenever there's, oh wait, embarrassed Dad? Yeah, come on, let's go, hurry up. She could not wait to share her side of the story for once. You guys should do a show sometime where the Mexican Queen, Panda Jen, Tuna, and Suits Mom tell stories about y'all. That'd be so funny. I can only imagine what they'd say.
That'd be awesome.
That'd be something. I know the Queen would be in. So,
shoot, she could host it.
Yeah,
She would run the symposium.
yeah, it'd be a 5-hour show. So pack a lunch. You got a lot. Also, Tiff wants to know, my little sister's turning 21 on Friday, and we're going to drive down on Saturday from Vero Beach to do some day drinking. Are there particular areas you suggest in West Palm or the surrounding areas where we can bar hop a little?
Come to the Kennel Club. Start there because they're doing a derby party. I'll be there starting at 2:30, and they have good prices on their drinks, and they like to keep it flowing. You start there. You're close to downtown West Palm, too. And then you can go up and down Clematis. You can hit all the bars and restaurants in the surrounding area, the 500 block.
The only thing I would warn you, though, about this weekend, you got Sunfest going on. And so finding parking and dealing with that might be a little costly or a little bit more annoying than typical.
Leave your car at the Kennel Club and Uber down to Clematis and Sunfest.
Yeah, but there are a lot of other really solid options you can find if you don't want to brave that area. If you don't want to come as far down as West Palm, up near Virginia, near the Jupiter Lighthouse, there's a lot of great bars and restaurants right on the water there.
That's where I'd suggest go to Square Grouper or Guanabana.
Yeah, you would be.
The Love Street Project is huge up there. You got Utiki.
What's the Love Street thing?
That is Beacon, Topside, and Lucky Shuck.
That's by That's by Guanabana?
Yeah, it's across the street from Gunabana.
I haven't been over there in a minute. I got to check it out over there again. I want to go to that mini golf area too.
Yeah, that's right up the street. That's the Lighthouse Cove Golf. That's super fun. It's mini golf.
It's wickedly cozy back there.
It is. You can just go all up and down that street, and there's so much fun stuff. And then across the way, 1000 North, that is a really nice place to go eat.
Yeah, that's probably your most convenient spot just with Sunfest. Other than that, yeah, I mean, clearly Clematis in the 500 block has places that you can go.
But keep in mind that US 1 is closed right there at US 1 and the Jupiter Inlet. That bridge is going to be closed for like 3 years.
Right, yeah. So if you're not familiar with the area, that could be a bit challenging.
Don't come US 1 from Vero. Take 95. Get off at Indian Town Road.
A little bit further south, Key Limehouse, but it's only one spot basically to check out. And the next best bar hopping place to me is probably the Ave in Delray. So, but that's...
The Ave in Delray is so much fun.
Yeah, but you're heading...
Lake Ave in
pretty
Lake
far.
Worth, too, is fun.
Yeah, decent. Yeah, you got a few little spots in there. You do have Benny's on the beach.
Kevin ain't feeling that idea.
You have to have a sidewalk chalk festival to get him down there.
I agree. Sidewalk chalking is fun.
I will tell you, right there on that corner, though, you got IGOT's, Dave's, the Irish bar across the street's been redone, and that's amazing. So you do have basically 4 bars, and there's a couple scragglers around there. It's not back.
I like Dave's Last Resort, but they have great honey mustard there.
Oh,
Yeah.
They have a corn and crab meat chowder or a corn and shrimp chowder. Oh, it's so good.
I hate crab, and I can tell I'm hungry because you're making me hungry with just the chowder.
I just said corn and you got wet.
I do like corn. There's a lot of good corn stuff. Corn's made kind of a resurgence, I feel like.
You ever had Papi Chulo's street corn?
No.
I tell everybody it's the best deal in the game. You get the sauce, you get the queso and the street corn. They're both $5 in happy hour, and you mix them together, and then you have this cheesy street corn, and then you use your tortilla chip to scoop it up. Oh my gosh, it's so good. And that whole entire thing is $10. And then half price margarita.
Man, street corn sounds so good right now.
Oh, you'd love it.
Ryan G said that the ticket sales for Sunfest are dismal right now, so parking will be fine. I did hear there's supposed to be 80,000 people, so I don't know what the true numbers are.
So right now it's you versus Ryan.
No, I don't know. That's just what I've seen. I can't say one way or the other. I mean, I have had a lot of people. I mean, I love that the Killers are there.
The Killers don't love you, though.
Yeah, I love that 311 is going to be there, but yeah, I just don't, Flow Rider and all that. I don't know if them and the chain smokers are going to pack the place or not. They may.
The young people are coming out for Boogie with the Hoodie.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But
got an email here from Colin. We were talking a little bit about the herpes today as it came up about could you date somebody without it? And he said, look, herpes is actually more common than many people think. Nearly 70% globally have type 1, which is oral, and 15% type 2, which is the genital. My wife and I have been together for over 10 years, and she has type 2 herpes, and we don't use protection but avoid sex during her few and far between outbreaks, typically once a year. I was recently tested and tested negative for type 2, the genital herpes, but I did have type 1. I was freaking out, so I did a lot of research. I found that over 3 billion people have it as well, and I've never seen an outbreak. I know severity varies from person to person, but I don't see it as a deal breaker as long as you take precautions. So I hope that helps out the fellow KVJ Nationer.
Yeah, there was a lot of people saying that.
9 out of 10 people said that.
9 out of 10 people have herpes, apparently.
A lot of people do.
And then if you get the shingles, that's
Yeah.
herpes too.
And,
Right.
and that's a different form of
But
it.
that lays like dormant in your system too.
My mom had shingles, and it wasn't fun. And if you walk by that, if you go to CVS, they have that one stat: 1 out of 3 people born after they will have shingles. You're fucked.
That was the most important. When I finally got my mom to go to the doctor, that was the one thing that he said. Okay, she had to get her mammogram, and then she had to get her shingles vaccine because so many older people, like the shingles, will be life-changingly bad. It's just like a giant wound that doesn't heal and it hurts.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Kim said, I got a friend, and no, it's not me, but she's been dating this guy for the last 7 years, and she has herpes, but has never told him. She doesn't have sex with him when she has a breakout. And another problem is he's married, so.
Oh,
gosh.
boy.
Yeah.
And on top of that, we're selling cocaine together.
There's a lot going on wrong over there.
Yep.
Oh, you can tell she wanted to write that email because she's annoyed with her friend.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's like, come on, girl, 7 years.
Text from the 772 said, Kev, no love for Ziggy Marley at Sunfest. What day is he on? Can you get single tickets? I do apologize. I didn't even write down. I guess no love for Ziggy Marley. What does he have? Tomorrow's People? Is that his jam?
How's that go? Can I get
Tomorrow's People, where is your something?
Past. Tomorrow,
Yeah.
people.
It's okay. I didn't put him down. I mean, look, reggae at Sunfest is awesome. When they've had Stick Figure and some of those bands, I went and hung out for the Stick Figure show, and that was awesome. It's a great vibe. Chainsmokers Flow Rider Friday, Jack Johnson, Dropkick Murphys, and Boogie with the Hoodie Saturday, Killers 311 and All Time Lows Sunday. And yes, you can buy just single day tickets, and I think we're only going to go out for the Killers on Sunday night. So I guess my only trip there.
Is that the Ralstons doing that, or is that a station thing, or?
No, we're the station. We're not involved, as far as I know. It's
Okay.
just Ralston's.
All right.
Yeah, my son Colin is. He's a big Killers fan. He's flying in Sunday, and we're going to go to the show Sunday night.
Well, they got 4 albums.
The Killers. I don't know off the top of my head how many they have.
We don't get the stats, baby. I'm sorry. I'm asking you shit.
What's your favorite color,
Oh,
Kevin?
what? You got some fucking nerve over
What
there.
was track 2 on album 3?
Virginia's got some damn nerve. Always asking you some bullshit.
Always had damn nerve.
You are.
No, they've got. If you want to break down all of it, it looks like they have about 12.
Wow. Okay.
Oh, goodness. Okay.
Some of them are smaller. Maybe 4 tracks on them.
Got yeah.
But yeah, they have a very long list.
Killer's killing it.
Yeah, well, yeah. They could do a 2.5 hour show and play pretty much all hits, at least 2 Killers fans. We got an email here about ticket costs. We were talking about that earlier as the Live Nation CEO was trying to blame the venues for the high prices of some of these tickets. And Fran said, I went to see Jeff Dunham at Florida Live Arena, and they told me that Jeff had set the cost of all seats at $62 a ticket. So, yeah, it does seem like there is somebody to blame in all this, but that's just it. They're all pointing the fingers between the promoters, the ticket brokers, and the venues, and then the artists themselves. So you have 4 different people pointing fingers at everybody else.
That's what always happens.
Just
Though.
why are they so expensive?
No one's ever going to be honest.
It's his fault. No, it's his fault.
That's what's going on. We also were talking about in Am I the Jerk? Somebody was quoted a tattoo price of $500 to $600, and they got a bill for $800 when they walked out. And they said, "Was I a jerk for mentioning to the tattoo artist, hey, you quoted me on $5 to $6," because the person was apparently offended. And Heather said, "My tattoo artist charges by the hour, so there's never any question. He has a timer attached to his tattoo machine that shows on a display a time and dollar amount. Should always be full disclosure, and they should absolutely stick by what they quote."
I like that. If
Yeah.
we're doing it by time, then it's not debatable.
Yeah, that feels like that's the right way to do that. So, yeah, I do agree with that. That's pretty smart. Let me see. A bunch of other emails here as well. Got one from Ladone. She said, "Been listening to you guys for many years. Love y'all. Feel like I'm a combo of all 3. Kevin with his reliability and professional demeanor. Virginia with her mama bear and fun, crazy personality. And Jaybird with your fascination with the unknown, murder, and serial killers. So I want to say thank you to Jaybird for posting last week about the UFO alien documentary. I watched it immediately and then binge watched true crime murder documentaries. Any more suggestions, please let me know. I also wanted to show Jaybird what I just got in the mail from my son, who's 20. He's in the Special Forces stationed in Japan. And
Ooh, that sounds cool.
Yeah.
Special Forces in Japan?
That's pretty cool.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, so they have everything from a pizza chip. It's a potato chip that's got pizza flavoring in Japan.
Ooh, that looks good.
They've got a Kit Kat banana caramel flavor.
Ooh.
They have a Kit Kat peach flavor.
You lost him at fruit. Don't come in here with that healthy shit.
You know what? I think Randy, our boss, got us that before.
I think so too. Yeah.
Because that Kit Kat looks familiar.
And you didn't like it then either.
I think I think there's another one we got.
Yeah, there was some good candy in there, and that's this Crunky Crunch Chocolate.
Ooh, yes. Well, I like that.
Yeah.
I like that crunch texture in my candy, like a crackle.
Crackle?
You know what I'm saying?
I do like a crunchy in my candy. Have you had those Reese's that have potato chips in them?
Yeah. 2015 called. And,
Those are good. Those are not 2015.
they've been out for a minute, Mama.
They haven't been out for that
Those
long.
have been out for quite a while.
They've been out for 2 years max.
Nah, I don't know about that.
That's a COVID thing.
That's not a COVID.
Whatever. Have you had the Reese's with chips, Kevin?
Fuck no.
Well, maybe then I'll talk to him.
If you do like the crime dramas, they say season 2 of Monster. I don't know if that's Netflix or where that is, but it's going to be called Monsters, the Lyle and Erica Menendez story.
Oh, yeah.
The brothers convicted of killing their parents in 1996 and sentenced to life without parole.
There's certain murder stories that don't interest me, or they're not creepy enough, I guess. That's one of them.
Doesn't grab you?
It doesn't grab me for some reason.
It's not as captivating as some of them.
The ones that are always, because they horrify me, it's kind of like the boogeyman in the night. You don't see it coming. It's they crawl through the window.
Something that makes you say, "Oh my gosh, that's twisted."
Yes, something that happens. You're just having a regular day, and then boom, the Nightmare Man is in your window.
Yeah, nobody likes the Nightmare Man.
No.
But he is good for a special.
He's great.
The Nightmare Man is great for a special, better than the Menendezes.
There's somewhere it's a spousal and they poison one another. I'm like, it's not creepy. I get it. You end up hating each other and one of you murdered each other.
We get spousal hate.
We got, that one's not,
It's too relatable.
It's not that creepy to me.
It's too normal.
Ladone says she works over at the Harley dealership on 45th Street.
Oh,
And she
that's
said,
right
maybe I'll
by
come over and
us.
see you. Yeah, come on over anytime.
We
Say
love
hello.
it. We love that little place.
Say hello. This was the email that I was trying to edit up a bit. It got a little lengthy, but I found it very intriguing, and it kept my attention. Talking a little bit about somebody who now lives in Maryland, who was born and raised in South Florida. And she said, I was in high school during the whole Jeffrey Epstein time, and I knew several girls in my high school who were solicited. I was never approached. She said, my now fiance, though, is one of 3 children who's got a sister and a brother in it. And his sister is somebody that was a mystery for quite a while. When she was graduating college with her master's in 2012, she was recruited to take some, quote, top secret position for a company. And she was not able to really visit at all during the holidays, special occasions, or anything like that. And twice a year, they would have a family vacation where only immediate family members would attend. These vacations were insane. Private islands, private chartered planes, yachts, full staff for the duration of the trip, and so on. 3 years into our relationship, I was finally invited on one of the vacations. We wound up going on a safari in Africa, a cage shark diving in Australia, a penthouse in France, a private tour of the Vatican and Rome, Aspen, Ireland, a Mediterranean cruise for 10 days.
Damn.
And then finally, we went for my bachelorette party in Las Vegas. And while there, it sounds like after some cocktails and maybe even some mushrooms, we got into a deep conversation. And I said, look, what the fuck do you do? So my future sister-in-law laughed and finally said, okay, I'll let you ask me 3 questions and I'll answer them. I thought of share a shock, but unfortunately I didn't have a shock collar. So her first question was, so what the fuck do you do? The answer was, I'm a COO, a Chief Operations Officer. Technically, I run the business of a family trust, a family that is billionaires, and I manage their day-to-day operations of their household. But I can't tell you who the actual family is.
Wow, that's so interesting.
Question 2, how did you get this job? The answer, I was recruited out of college, and based on my legal background and studies of foreign and domestic policy, I was invited to an exclusive event where we were introduced. I was initially hired to manage the children and the various nannies. Question number 3, why were your brothers worried and needed to go see you when all the Jeffrey Epstein stuff was happening? She looked stunned by this question, said, ask a different question. And I was equally stunned by her response and how serious this moment was. So that seems like the one thing that was kind of left open-ended. And I don't know, maybe this family had some kind of connections to Jeffrey Epstein or something. But that's the one thing we don't really have an answer on.
A lot of people had connections to Jeffrey Epstein and financially profited from his shenanigans.
I mean, there was even a story this week about, so-and-so's attorney or, this person's that or this person's this. And I mean, so every week there's still another, and it's all just rumblings of, look who was associated with Jeffrey Epstein. And then nothing ever comes of it. It's just always murmurs. It's on for a brief second and then just gone.
Like somebody will call me and say, oh, yeah, this. And then I'll try to get back in touch with them and then they don't call me back.
Yeah.
It's very weird.
So she said, so how do we do all these trips? Do you pay for them? How much money do you make? She said, I get paid very well, but I have no overhead either. I live on a property and I have access to any vehicle that I need. And so, pretty much everything is taken care of. She said, so I said, well, what about a family? What about kids one day? And my future sister-in-law said, I don't know if that will ever happen for me, but I think that's okay. I love my job and working for this family. I'm hoping to retire around 40 with several million in the bank. I want to know who the family was so badly, but all she said was that you can find their products in any local grocery store. And if I had to guess, I'm guessing it's the Campbell Soup family, if I had to say.
Because they are local.
Yes.
Campbell
and this fits their MO.
Campbell Soup is not that fucking good.
But back in the day...
Tell the millions of people who still buy that stuff.
I know.
Back in the day, it was the only soup in the game.
Yeah.
I just went on a soup run, I'll make the best and the worst of them all. I ate so much soup.
Go stand in the aisle where the soup is. They still have 50% market share.
Mm-hmm.
Look, just because there's a lot of something doesn't mean it's right.
You might have too fancy of a palate.
You think I'm being a fancy bitch when it comes to my soup.
I do.
Now, soup there and
You get Amy's, you get lentil.
I did
You get the fancy fucking soup. You better admit it.
I've gotten fancy soup. You don't know what kind of soups.
I've been with you when you soup shop.
Just because I get fancy soups with you, I'm always eating fancy soup. I went on a soup run.
I don't think you get Campbell's because you are too much of a fancy fuck for Campbell's.
Damn. Wow.
I've seen it happen. This bitch eats fancy soup.
It might be the bougiest thing I'm involved in.
He don't understand the Campbells. No.
Damn. Do I have soup privilege?
I think you're having a moment where you just realized you're bougie.
Wow. Well, at least in the soup world,
Mm-hmm.
Amy's is expensive as fuck, and it's way better.
Yeah.
See? He's selling it.
People were speculating. Ryan thinks maybe it's the Koch brothers. They've got products in every store. Let me see. Susan
But isn't that
thinks,
pronounced? Isn't that spelled Koch?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Koch. Yeah.
Are they the Coca-Colas?
No.
Yeah, no.
No, it's different.
I'm very confused.
Susan said the Wrigley Gum people. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe that's the whole thing. You just never know who's on Palm Beach. Honestly, I'm always just mesmerized being here 24 years, and I'm always finding out somebody else that you would never have any idea of who's living here. So, yeah, she said, I hope this is juicy enough for you. No, it's
it's super juicy. We love it.
Well, Caitlyn's new job is pretty much that. So she's going to be working for a family and doing all that kind of stuff. So it's kind of interesting just to see what that all entails.
It's a career because I know people that did it, and I know a guy who actually interviewed to be the house manager for Jeff Bezos.
Oh, wow. No way.
Did not get the job, but came really close.
Mm-hmm.
And it is crazy what they put you through on those interviews. And there's so many layers of people you have to get through.
Yeah.
And he was going to be making over $200,000 a year just to live on property entry level, running everything.
Yeah, you can make really good money, and it's
No expenses. You live
Right.
there.
Yeah.
They pay your everything. You use the cars. You you just order people around all day.
Yeah.
You don't even have to cut the grass yourself. You just got to hire the guys that cut the grass.
right.
And then tell them they're cutting it right or wrong.
Yeah.
Like, wow.
Caitlyn's not the position that she was because she was the head of all those kind of people, but Caitlyn's one of those people, and yeah, she stays at their house like all week, and she's gone the whole month of July, and Caitlyn's going to be gone for Christmas. And
Traveling.
for Christmas, yeah.
Wow.
They're out of country at that time, so.
I'm out of money at that time.
Christmas time.
Christmas time? I'm broke as a bitch.
Yeah, well, I guess we don't have to buy Caitlyn any Christmas presents.
Yeah. I think if your kid doesn't show up at your house for Christmas,
That seems fair, right?
you don't got to get him a gift.
Yeah. So I guess we're not going to see her for that. So yeah, so it'll be interesting. See what that's all about. So anyway, so fascinating stuff. But it is really just interesting when you're working with the rich and all that kind of stuff, what their lives are like.
Well, you get to kind of be rich, but not really. But like you get to do all the fun stuff.
Fake rich.
Fake rich. You get
Yeah.
to travel. You get to go on the plane, the private jet.
Oh yeah. She does that. And they got one of them islands and all that kind of good stuff. So.
I mean, you're kind of like you're in the club without having any of the pressure that comes from being in the family.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm like, if nothing else, I mean, it's got to be interesting for a little while, right?
Enjoy it.
Yeah.
It may be just a blip. It may not be a career for everybody, but look around and enjoy the opulence while you're in it.
Yeah.
I've never been on a private jet before.
Never?
Never. I don't see when I would have been.
I have one time, and it was so shitty. It was the shittiest private plane ever. We're sitting on a bench, not even like your own private. Like I see these guys, they get these kind of impressive standalone chairs, and they have tables and all that.
Like a lazy boy.
We're like sitting on a bench, and they had a wicker basket of snacks they were passing around. I'm like, gosh, of course, I get on a private jet, and it's the worst private jet ever made.
Have some Cheez-Its, and there you go.
Oh, it made funny noises. I'm like, we're not going to make it. Yeah.
The best private plane I've ever been on was a seaplane. Have you seen those ones that take off and
I have,
land
yeah.
in the water?
That's kind of cool.
I went to the Bahamas in one of those one time, and that was the coolest plane ride ever. It wasn't fancy, but just the fact that you're landing and taking off from the water is so badass.
You ever been on a real train? Not a bright line or not. I'm saying you're on a train to keep on. You're going somewhere. You ever do that?
Yeah, Amtrak back in the day.
Was it fun?
Yeah, because I was a kid.
It seems like a fun experience.
It takes forever.
The thing that was the coolest about it, though, because I had done it, it was it was one of our clients, and it was for a national championship game. And the thing that was probably the coolest about it was how you can drive right to the hangar, get right on the damn plane, and take off. And there were so many planes waiting behind us trying to get out, which was like, oh, thank God. Like, you beat traffic and get right through it. That, to me, was the coolest part
Yeah,
of
there's
it.
no TSA when you fly private like that. There's no like person like patting you down and putting a wand in your coochie,
Yeah.
which always seems to happen to me.
A wand in your couch.
They always had that fucking wand, and she wants to shove it in places where
Yeah.
no one should be shoving a wand unless they buy me dinner first, bitch.
They still do the wand with the coochie, right?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
because I've always got some dress on, and it'll have like some little jewels or bedazzles on it or something, and that makes the metal detector thing go off. So they have to like get real up close and personal with my cooch. None of that when you fly private.
Nope.
No one's sticking you in the cooch.
You're the only person in my personal life that uses the word coochie. It's a great word.
It's a great word, though.
It's a great word.
It is.
Cooch.
Yeah.
I do it for you because I see how you perk up and love it.
Well, great emails today. Thank you guys so much. You can always send them to us, mail@kvjshow.com. Y'all enjoy your Tuesday. We'll see you back here tomorrow. Goodbye.